welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today I'm going to be kind of doing a product showdown. I'm really going to be putting to the test and comparing and letting you guys know which drugstore contour powders I think are totally worth the money. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay, so I have kind of a mixture. I have two like duos to talk about that have a highlight and a contour shade. I have two like face palettes to talk about, so one that has a contour, a highlight, and a blush. And then I have like two strict contour powders, or contour palettes. So let me just start off by saying that I'm sure there are more out there than what I have tried. I have tried the L'Oreal one that is not in this video, and I ended up returning it because I was just really not a fan of it. For me, it didn't blend very well, and the contour had a little bit of like some shimmer action happening in mine, so not a huge fan of that, so I did return that one. But for the most, and I don't have like any cream products in this video. These are all just strictly contour palettes, powders, whatever you want to call it. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to phrase it in the title of this video yet, but I'm sure that I will figure something out. So anyways, if you like this style of video where I kind of take a lot of different brands that have similar products and kind of like, you know, do a little showdown for you guys and let you know which one I think is the absolute best. Let me know in the comments because I do have a couple other products that I feel like I could do this with. So let me know if this is something that you like to see. You can just give this video a thumbs up so I know. But now let's actually get into the content of this video and why you're all watching. So first off, let me talk about the duos. So this one is from Wet n Wild and this one is from Essence. Now this one from Essence I'm torn on. I love the contour shade in here. They do have a lighter shade of this as well. I love the contour in here, but the highlight, I'm just kind of like it's just not really there for me. So I would probably skip this one just because I do like the contour, but you are getting a contour and highlight. So you want to like the whole product, and with this one, I just like the contour shade. And then this was only, I think, like $3 or $4. And then the Wet n Wild one is also, I think, around $4 or $5, and I wear the shade Dolce de Leche. They do have another shade as well. And this one is like kind of similar to the Essence. You get a contour and you get a highlight, although this highlight is completely matte. This highlight did have some shimmer to it, and it did have more of like a pink undertone. This is completely matte, and it does have more of like a yellowish undertone. Now the other shade that they have, which I do believe is called Caramel Toffee or Caramel Toffee, whatever you want to say, it does have more of like a peachish, or maybe it's like a little bit darker yellow. They recently like repackaged and reformulated, so I can't remember. But anyways, these are so smooth and pigmented, really, really nice. Like look at that highlight. Like that highlight shows up. And it looks absolutely beautiful to set the under eye concealer with. These just blend really well, and out of these two, I would definitely say pick up the Wet n Wild one over the Essence one. Now we're getting into like the face palettes. So these have a bronzer or contour shade, a blush, and a highlighter. So this first one is from Maybelline, and I wear the shade light to medium. There is a medium to deep one as well. And you get a bronzer, a blush, and a highlight. The highlight in here is really pretty. It's a little bit dry for me. It's not like really smooth, but it's definitely pretty. I do like the blush. I think that's a nice tone. And then the contour shade is matte, which I like, and I do think that this is a really good tone. Now, these aren't extremely pigmented powders, but for me, honestly, when it comes to face products, I would almost prefer that than having it be like so pigmented and I have to be super careful. So this one is pretty good. And then this one is from Rimmel, and this is the Kate Moss collection or whatever, and it has a highlighter, a bronzer, or contour, and a blush. Now the reason I say bronzer is because this does have shimmer in it, and for some reason whenever I see something that has shimmer in it, I just always say bronzer over contour because you want a contour powder to be matte. So when companies say contour but it has shimmer in it, it kind of annoys me because contouring, you're really trying to like sculpt out the cheekbone or the hairline or the nose, you know what I mean? And with that, you do want to create a more natural looking shadow, so you want that product to be matte because a shadow is matte. And then when you bronze, I just always think, you know, that's where you want to look almost like J-Lo and you want to have that glow to you. So I just always kind of say it whichever way. But this highlight in here is really pretty. This is the shade, what are you? 002 Coral Glow. To To be totally honest with you, there's like 3 different shades of this, and I didn't really notice a whole lot of difference between all 3 shades. So that was kind of a bummer. And then this contour does have some shimmer to it, and it's not pigmented like at all. Like I can barely get, like you really got to press hard to get some of that product up. And then the blush is pretty. It's just like a peachy blush. These do not blend as well as the Maybelline one, and they aren't, the highlight in both I'm kind of like meh about, but honestly these just are a little bit softer, they blend a little bit better, so I would get the Maybelline face palette over the Rimmel one. And then we have 2 like powder contour palettes to talk about. These are strictly just contour palettes. This one is like my #1 contour palette, which if you watch my channel you know. This is from e.l.f. I do wish that they would make this in different like shades though, because I think if you are a little bit darker than me, this probably isn't going to work for you. I love the tones in here because I'm like more on the fair side, and so the bronzer actually does look very natural on me. The contour looks really great, and these 2 powders are really nice. I actually like to mix these to set the under eye area, and then I just bronze with the bronzer shade and contour with the contour shade. I love the packaging because you get a huge mirror. This is like $6 for 4 powders, and they are really soft and smooth and just nice. I just think that they look very natural on the skin. Like that contour shade is just perfect because it's not too cool and it's not too warm. It's just perfect. I've raved about this on my channel, so this is like my ride or die contour palette. I just love it, but I do wish that they would make it in darker shades because like I said, if you're darker than me, or like maybe like 1 or 2 skin tones darker, probably not going to work for you. This is the City Color Contour Effects. Now this is the #1, there is a #2 as well, and I do have a 10% off discount code for citycolorcosmetics.com, so that is in the description bar below. But anyways, this is really nice. Now this one is probably a little bit too dark for me. I probably could get the 0 or the #2 and be fine, but this highlight is like white. It's like milk. It's so intense, but it's very smooth, and I love it. Like the contour shade is like a little too dark for me, honestly, but the bronzer shade is nice as well. It's very warm, which is what I like. I like a warm bronzer and a cool contour. That's just like how I roll. But I like this. The powders in here are so incredibly soft. They're so smooth. These powders are probably smoother than the e.l.f. one. And the highlight in here is not completely matte. It's not completely shimmery either. It does just have a nice like satin finish. So that is nice. I think if you are, you know, someone who just wants something very simple to contour and highlight with, I would definitely pick this one up. And then even this one though, like these 2 I just really struggle with. I probably would pick the e.l.f. one though over the City Color one, just because like this is something that I just love. I just think is so great. But I think if you can't find, like if this doesn't work for your skin tone, maybe get the City Color one instead. Okay guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed me kind of like comparing different products and sharing with you guys which one I would pick over the other one. Like I said, give this video a thumbs up if you kind of like this idea, because I could definitely do this with more products. I just think it's interesting to kind of compare one product across the board but with different brands, because people make them differently and things like that. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!